with a more openness to seeing the different colors, different vibrations, different emotions, different patterns of people. So we get a higher understanding or a deeper understanding of what is, so we can be more calm. And through our practices, we can walk that path with more certainty as we do hold ourselves accountable and we hold practices in discipline. Who and exactly what's
the sun forsake me and the moon forgave me. Hi everyone, welcome to The Awakened Journalist. My name is Emiliana Molina and we do conscious journalism for the good of humankind. I am very excited about the guest that we have with us today, Julieta Ferrero from Águila Real. You can listen to her music on Spotify if you look up Águila Real. She has amazing medicine music. She is a singer, songwriter, musician, artist, medicine woman, also a yogi, and she'll be sharing a lot of her wisdom with us today. I met her recently at an event at Joyce Haddad's home. She was singing with David Leighton, a dear, great friend of mine as well. And we, a few weeks later, the same week, I think, sat in ayahuasca ceremony. And we just hit it off from there. And here we are. So welcome.
Aho! Thank you for inviting me into this magical podcast. I'm so honored. And I think everything is so perfectly aligned in the way we met and everything that transpired. And now we're here. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for the invite.
You're so welcome. I'm so grateful for meeting you too. You've been such an inspiration since I met you. And before I even knew that I was going to meet you, because I used to listen to your music, I still listen to your music all the time on Spotify. Your songs have held me through many processes of transformation, many tears, some of joy, some of a lot of pain. And nonetheless, though, they have definitely held me in the softness of your voice. And so I want to talk a little bit about your purpose with music and how you found that calling, because I know you mentioned you didn't sing until about 5 years ago.
Exactly. How crazy.
That's
I'm gonna tell
wild.
You the
this
story.
Is like, people, there's hope.
Yeah.
We can sing.
If I can do it, that's what I say. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
I come from zero musical background. None of my family, no friends, nothing related to music. I didn't know how to play instruments. I didn't have any instrument. I didn't sing. I mean, only in the shower. You know how that goes, or in the car when you get excited about a pop song. But that was it. That was really it. I didn't like my voice. I didn't share it with anyone because I didn't like it. So it's been a journey, definitely. But the highlight, or one of the most crucial points, I think, regarding my vocal activation or my voice activation was in an ayahuasca ceremony. So just to give a little bit of a background for everyone else, I do currently facilitate plant medicine. I'm very connected with Mama Aya. I started my journey about 12 years ago, and it's been extraordinary. Really life-changing. And 2 years, more or less 2 years after my first ceremony with grandmother medicine, I channeled this beautiful energy that named herself Isis, which later on I found out is a high priestess, or was a high priestess from ancient Egypt. And she awoke in my kundalini for the first time. I felt my chakras. And when it came into my throat chakra, because it started going from down to up, when it came to my fifth chakra, I screamed, I shouted from the depths of my soul. And it really opened something up that I didn't even know it was blocked. And then after that, my body started moving. She started cleansing me, and a lot of mystical experiences started happening. But yeah, that was a little bit of how it started, and I felt something opening in my voice. I think it was it came from my lineage, from my mom's side. So that's what I feel. However, when you're in those, situations, or at least me, I had no idea what was happening. I really came from zero. Like, no, I don't even drink alcohol or anything. I'm the healthiest person, and just to go straight into that very powerful medicine. And that experience was so, I would say, overwhelming a little bit. And just understanding what was going on. And then after that, how the instruments started coming my way. People started gifting me instruments out of the blue. I wasn't singing or anything or calling for it. So they just started coming, and I started sitting with them, and they started teaching me how to play them.
Wow.
And then the first album,
The instruments
started teaching me how to play them just by sitting with them.
I love that.
If I would have known, you just have to sit, breathe, relax, and explore, right?
Yeah.
Explore, and then I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Oh, that, and da-da-da-da-da, and that's how it started. And then I can't remember if I already met the producer, which is a dear brother of mine, or not. His name is Miguel, and he's also part of the band. Anyhow, he helped me produce the first album, which was homemade, by the way. It was in my house with whatever we had there. And the intention behind that for me was just for the music to fly to anyone that needed that connection, anyone that needed that reminder, and to really connect to those tunes and vibrations, to come back into the heart, into the moment, and to remember that we are what we're looking for, and everything is within us, in our heart, right? So it's the path of the heart and how we walk in life with grace, with peace, with strength. And I think one of the most popular songs from that first album, which is called Raíces, which means roots in Spanish, is Juana G, which the first album, I wish it was mine, but I mean, it is mine, but the lyrics are not. They're all from different either mantras or medicine people that, shared their songs, and it really touched me. So I connected with those specific songs, and I really wanted to do my own version in a way and to try it out, because I remind you, I didn't sing or play music before that. So it was very special. It was like a dream, like, oh yes, I'm going to create something, and hopefully maybe 100 people will listen to it and will connect the way I do, because every time I would play that, I would cry, and it would touch my heart so deeply. And I was like, it has to connect someone else, I'm sure. So it was kind of like my service to humanity. I was like, if I'm leaving this earth, my legacy, I want that to be forever, channeled or collected in the sounds and the vibrations and the music and the prayers. So that's a little bit of the story. And then after that, after releasing the first album, it flew everywhere. It was so well taken. I received so many beautiful messages about how it helped so many people that I was like, oh my God, this is a dream. It's like a win-win. Like I couldn't even put into words how perfect everything was. So I decided to start writing my own songs, which I already had a few, but I wasn't a singer. I wasn't a songwriter. So I was like, oh, they're probably not good. I'm just like doing it for fun. But I ended up using some of them in my second album, which is Aquí estoy, Here I Am. It's in Spanish. And then El Camino Soy Yo, the path is me, the way is me. And well, all of the others, Padre Sol, Father Son, and many of... and other songs that I channeled through ceremony, through ayahuasca. So there's some very deep prayers there. And then I ended up doing the third album, which is called Corona, which means crown. So the first one is Roots, Raíces, Corazón, heart, Corona, which is crown. And that was my first vision of the trilogy of like, oh, let's do the Trinity, right? Kind of like in the chakra systems, and like the root, heart, and crown. So finally it's completed. So I'm very, very happy about that. Thank you for listening.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I'm just in awe right now with your process and your transformation, and I'm receiving so many like clicks just by hearing you. It's so beautiful, because just this morning I was playing the bongos. A friend brought them to my home last night, and she was like, I want you to play with me, and while I sing this song, we were doing it this Saturday, you just got to do it. I'm like, are you crazy? And she just left the bongos at my house, and she was like, just practice and do it. And this morning, literally, that is what I did. I sat with the bongos and I was like, just teach me how to play you, because I don't know. I have no idea. And what I am being reminded of is that because everything that we see around us in the material realm comes from nature, right? It is alive. So the instruments are alive. Any material thing can speak to you if you just like allow it to, right? Like trees can speak to you, plants can speak to you. And therefore, like drums that are sometimes made of wood or whatever, whatever material they're made from, the bongos in this case, I just sat there and I was like, teach me how to play. And I felt like I was starting to develop a heart to heart connection, like between my heart, the instrument, and just like allowing myself to play with it and to get curious about my inner musical genius. I feel like you say it all the time. If you have a voice, you can sing.
Exactly. That's what I say. If you have a voice, you can sing just like you're speaking. I mean, I was born in Argentina, so some people, when they listen to the accent, it's like, oh, it feels like you're singing. I'm like, yeah, because every language has that different tonalities where you're actually speaking, but you see these notes. Everything that's coming out of my mouth has a note, a frequency. So it's not here, and then I go here, and then I go here. So you're already singing. You really are. It's just we're not aware of that. Now, there are different ways of singing. Of course, you do want to have like a basic notion of what is coming out of your mouth. Just kind of like the colors. You want to know like the name of the colors, so then you can combine them or you can mix them or whatever. So with music is the same. With the notes, I think it's the same because everything is interconnected, right? So I specifically in my classes when I teach vocal activation, I connect the foundation of the notes with the colors, with the chakras. So you can not only understand it, well, it's hard to understand just by listening to it if you're not used to that dimension. So sometimes when you bring colors or you bring different aspects and you correlate that, you can better understand what you are hearing. And then it's just the practice. Everything is practice. I always say just practice and you'll get anywhere that you want.
I love that. This is so true.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I came from zero and now I finished my third album. I'm working on my fourth album. That came from another download from Peru, from Iquitos, when I went to do a master diet with Noya Rao, which is a master plant from the jungle. And the fourth ayahuasca, all the download came out. And the more you sit with the instruments and the more you connect with music, the more you open yourself up to receiving that information, songs, prayers, vibrations.
This is so true. This is so true. I love this so much. I love hearing you. Thank you for sharing all that wisdom. I am curious to dive deeper into the medicine as well. So we spoke a little bit about your music, and I've also sat with a lot of plant medicines, ayahuasca being one of them, in multiple locations. And one of the times I did sit with you as well.
You came as a guardian, which it was so beautiful. Thank you.
Yes,
so
thank you. Thank you for having seen me so deeply to allow me to trust me to hold that space as well with you as a guardian. That was my first time being a guardian. And it was, oh my God, it was so profound and so beautiful as well. So thank you for supporting me and stepping up into that role.
Oh, for sure. I love to empower people for them to remember and to realize that you hold the power. You are God. We are all one, right?
Yeah.
So when we really embody that from our center, from the heart, then you can better move forward, becoming that truth that, like I say in one of my songs, El camino soy yo, the path is me. So you're always going back to yourself, getting to yourself through the different situations and experiences of life. But it's still, we're seeing ourselves through everything that's around us.
That's so true. That's
yes,
so true.
But the medicine is so powerful. So
it
really changed my life. So I can only speak wonders of the medicine.
Yeah.
And I also say it's not for everyone, and it might not be for everyone in this lifetime, and it might not be the right timing right now. But it is available for those who really feel the calling and know that it's a very deep transformational experience that will take you probably to your depths, and it will remove a few things out of your either mind, emotions, spirits. It will allow you to see things in a different perspective because everything comes from the one, right? Just like the colors, it all comes from the light, from the white, but in a different vibration. So I think that also correlates not only with the notes, but also with religions and with everything that happens around you. Everything comes from love, basically, right?
Yeah.
And everything has a different vibrations, colors to show the love.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a tough love. It's more like a brown maybe color, but it's still love, right?
Yeah.
So if we can see that, and if we can see that we're in this, and all of these teachings or whatever messages that I'm bringing forward, really from ayahuasca. So that's the power of the plant. It's a portal to open you up to seeing the greater existence of everything and how everything interconnects and all the wisdom that there is, and to see the polarities and how we're here and how everything is, it has its polarity, masculine, feminine, white, black, giving, receiving, right? And it's just balancing that back into the center, and that's where we find our heart, and that's how we move forward.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I speak too much.
No, please,
let
I'm
me know if
delighted.
you have any other questions, but I'm
No.
going to keep it. It's just everything comes through. But also I must mention, yoga has been a very beautiful practice in my life, and I highly recommend that to anyone that is feeling called or doesn't know how to move forward, just walking their own path. That really helps, because it's a very deep practical practice of self-awareness. That's what I say. Yoga, some people don't understand what yoga is, so I like to bring it in a very basic manner. It's really self-awareness. So you're in a safe space, which is your yoga mat. You cannot blame anyone or anything. So you take accountability and responsibility for yourself, for your mind, right? For your focus, because where your focus is what we create. So just notice yourself through the practice. Can you hold hard poses? Can you hold them? And can you be okay? And can sometimes smile? And can you breathe?
Yeah.
And can you stay still and firm? So there's so many qualities that strengthen your being in so many different aspects, right? So I always say it really helped with the focus, which is that's where you put your energy, where what life appears from your focus. So if I'm focusing on what my dad did many years ago and I hate him, then that's what literally I'm bringing. But if I'm thinking of something else, then I'll bring another energy. So you see, it's all about the focus. And this is one of my phrases: when you're present, there's nothing to heal.
This is so true.
Imagine yourself, you're right here, right now. You're maybe watching a sunset or any moment in your life that you were like, wow, that was so beautiful. And go back there. You're there. There's nothing to heal. So you see, everything is mental. So when we become present and aware of that, everything is in our mind, and the focus, where we place our focus, because everything exists. And I always say, life is so generous that it allows everything to be, good and evil. You know, everything exists because it's unconditional loving. So when we understand from that, I got shown the Trinity, so the polarities and the higher aspect is the top part of the triangle or the pyramid. Then you can see things as a whole. And I always say this example: the right leg is not better than the left one, right? We need the right to move forward, and we need the left to move forward. We need dark to see things, to see the light, and we need the light also to see things in the darkness. So we need both to see the grays and the colors. Otherwise, if it's all light, we can't see. If it's all dark, we can't see. So that's why it's so important to understand and to be able to balance those aspects within ourselves, us above, so below. So everything is a reflection of us, right? The universe. So once we can balance back into that union, which that's what yoga means, union, then we find ourselves back in the center, and we can move forward in a different way through life with a higher perspective of what is, with a more openness to seeing the different colors, different vibrations, different emotions, different patterns of people. So we get a higher understanding, or a deeper understanding of what is, so we can be more calm. And through our practices, we can walk that path with more certainty, as we do hold ourselves accountable, and we hold practices in discipline, so we can continue that path.
I love that. It's so deep and so beautiful. And I also had a very, going back to the ayahuasca ceremonies, and then we'll switch back into yoga, but I had a very overwhelming first experience with the medicine. And back then, I didn't really have practices like yoga to hold me through it. So I didn't know how to integrate. And what I've learned over time is the importance of sitting with facilitators that are in integrity, that know how to hold a space, and that do things in ways like you do. For example, you have integration calls afterwards. And it's so important because sometimes the experiences of the medicine can be so overwhelming with so much information, and you're also going through ego deaths and transformations that it's hard for you to understand everything that happened in ceremony immediately. Oftentimes we probably won't even understand it fully, until the end of our lives, or maybe not in this lifetime. But as long as we have facilitators that are having like that, I have a friend that calls it like the golden standard for medicine, right? Those integration calls, like making sure that everyone is kind of understanding their process or having some kind of guidance and not going through it alone is so important. And then more and more, I'm understanding the importance of stepping into like my daily practices and what that looks like for me, not what we were taught or trained to do, but like really what. And I'm going to sleep every night with this mantra that I made up recently because it came to me out of nowhere, and I was like, whoa, I need this. I need to stop waking up with my alarm, right? Because it like alters my nervous system. Like every time I hear my alarm ring, it's like the frequency, especially when you're like in the middle of your REM sleep. So I started going to sleep by telling myself, I wake up every morning in perfect harmony with all of my bodies revitalized and regenerated through the completion of my full cycle of REM sleep, and through ease, love, joy, and grace, so that I can complete and fulfill all the practices that sustain my true essence. And it's a long one. It's a long one, but it's working.
Yeah. I love that.
It's so powerful.
And you can also add into the alarm if you ever need it, like some birds singing.
Yes.
So you can wake up with birds, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
that's
softer.
My bird is the eagle, as we all know. That's Águila Real, royal
Águila
eagle,
Real.
right? But and I wanted to mention something about the whole process of the ceremony. So just remembering that it is a process.
Yeah.
And I would say there's 3 parts. Again, the Trinity, right? The first one is the pre-diet. So it's before you sit with the plant. You already are committing, first of all, to yourself, to your process. So we do respect ourselves. We respect the medicine by doing our work, which is I'm going to stop eating certain things. I'm going to commit to some practices. I'm going to ground with the earth. I'm going to start doing maybe some meditation, some yoga to stay present, to connect with the breath, to connect with the moment, right? Yeah. So that is really, really important. So that's the first part of it. The second part, it is the ceremony in itself, which you may gain a lot of insights and awareness and expansion in consciousness and in your heart, and also maybe letting go of different blockages that we're holding, or any behaviors, any triggers, anything that's really holding you back in your life. And then the last part is the post-ceremony, which is the integration. Yeah. So the ceremony is not just to go see some fun things, because otherwise there's many other things you can do to have fun. I always say this is not for fun, this is to do real deep work within yourself, so you can have fun the rest of your life, in your life, right? So you can really see it and enjoy it in a different way. We have to do the work sometimes. Yeah. So definitely the integration is key to sealing that, to sealing the whole process of, okay, so what did I see? What insights did I gain? I have a full questionnaire of things that you go through to kind of ground all of those messages, all of that wisdom that comes through. Yeah. These divine plans that Mother Earth has created also for us. How crazy is that? And how much Earth gives us, right? How much the universe gives us. Yeah. So definitely integration call is really important. Then practices and practices and practice. And what do you practice? Your mind. You don't know what to practice? Practice your thoughts. What am I thinking right now? Am I liking this? Am I not? Do I hate this person? Do I enjoy this? All of those are choices. And what I say is your superpower is the power of choice. You get to choose at all times what to think, how to feel. If you like something, if you don't, if you everything, whether you're conscious or unconscious. So that's why we're working on the consciousness, on the self-awareness, on being more present, on choosing what you're doing, choosing the words that come out of your mouth, and how do you want to display them, and what energy are they bringing, and is that going to, because everything affects everything in the world. So everything you say, everything you think affects the world. So thanks to these master plans, they help us see all these depths of all the wisdom of what is. So, and then we have to walk the talk. So that's the practice. We have to, how do I anchor this into my life? How do I make my life amazing? How do I create heaven on earth? Yeah. Because we're here. We can do it. We're everything. So you can choose to be excellent, or you can choose to be mediocre. And that is a choice. And the practices go along with whatever you say, with your words.
This is so true. And I love that you brought up to me while we were finishing ceremony. I think you asked me, like, how are you feeling? And I was like, honestly, I'm really scared. And also leaning into, what's unfolding. And I remember I told you, just seeing you stand in the power of your purpose is making it easier for me to do the same for myself. Because you're leading with example, and I've learned that the greatest teachers, there's all kinds of great teachers in life, but the teachers that I truly want to learn from and walk with are the ones that are leading with example. It's not the people that are constantly trying to tell you what to do or how to do it and trying to micromanage and control. It's really like I walk my talk and I lead with example, and you get to choose if what I'm showing you is showing you a better life or something you want to live and experience or not. And it was beautiful because you reminded me of like what holds you together and your practices and the importance of those practices. So I want to ask you
and the commitment to yourself.
And the commitment to myself and my purpose. And I think you also said the only thing I'm scared of in life right now is dying without completing my purpose.
Before bringing the next album.
Yes, exactly.
That's always my thing. I'm like, I of course, I died the first ceremony I did ayahuasca, and I was so happy, and I was like, oh my God, thank you, God. This is the best way to die. Yeah. So I was just so joyful when that happened to me. Because there is no real death. There's the material death, but everything recycles. It's like the water. You see it physical. Yeah. It evaporates, it goes, disappears, but it's still there, and then it comes back. So it's the same, as above, so below, right? Yeah. But I'm sorry, your question was...
So, you literally, I just said, like, I asked you, I didn't ask you a question. I just said I was scared. And then you brought me to the only thing I'm afraid of is like not completing my purpose. Yes. So my question to you is like, well, guide us through some of the challenges that you faced to get to your purpose. And then also, would be the second question, like how does your daily routine work? Like guide us through your daily practices and what that looks like so people can have an example.
So the first question, yes. The most challenging thing about my purpose is that I didn't know what my purpose was. Yeah. So I didn't know. So I spent most of my life just not knowing. And I'm like, I'm kind of envious of those people that are born and like, I want to be a firefighter. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. He knows it from like a little. And I'm like, why can I know? Why do I not know? And I could do everything. I've done so many other different things, and I've done them well. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. It's not my passion. But my talents, I guess, or gifts didn't really activate until I was fully ready. And I believe there's a life plan for everything. So whenever that moment was, it kind of opened up because I already had a lot of ground or foundation before that, like focus, drive, integrity. I don't know, so many things life teaches you, right? And I think there's a point in time when things just open up. And so that was late in my life, actually. As I mentioned, I started 5 years ago singing. 5 or 6 years ago.
And she's already on her way to her 4th album. Okay, guys.
Yes, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And I never planned it. That's the weirdest thing, because, my intentions are so powerful, everyone. Intentions. Intention is the energy you want to bring forward, is where you want to go, but the intention is the energy, how you're moving forward. So my intention with the first album was just to reach everyone and to really connect and help heal and help humanity, right? And that's, I think, why it went how it went. And then I felt like so connected to that purpose. I was like, oh, this really feels like something really good. And this is what I tell people that don't know their purpose.
Yeah.
It's something that you would do for free and that you would do every day of your life. Something that you enjoy doing, that you love doing, and that you cannot wait to do. And that is your purpose, whatever that is. Even if it's like, oh, but I don't know, cutting nails. Well, maybe that's, I love painting. I love whatever the craziest thing it is. There is a plan. And if it's not out there, it's because you're probably going to create something with that, with different things you like doing and putting them together. So, so I would say the most challenging thing of my purpose was finding the purpose, definitely. Yeah. And what I recommend people is, or clients or students as well, because I do hypnotherapy, past life regression, life coaching, and vocal activation, and all of that. So anyone that comes ask me, basically, I always try to guide them in the best way. That worked for me, at least. Yeah. Writing down in a paper everything you love doing, absolutely everything. And then things are going to clear up through the way as you walk the path. So another example would be write down in a piece of paper everything, your ideal day, your perfect day. How would you wake up? At what time are you waking up? What are you eating? What are you not doing? What are you doing? Who are you meeting? Who are you not meeting? Everything. You write it down. And then your day becomes perfect because you're writing down your perfect day. So we are walking with intention and with a vision of somewhere that we're wanting to go. Now, if you're in the path and you want to go deeper, usually the purpose relates to service. Yeah. That is the ultimate level. How can I serve from everything that I love doing? How can I serve? Money will come, because money is energy. And the universe is going to support your intention if it's like real and if it's raw and it comes from the heart and the passion is there. So it's not like I'm working for money, because that's not going to work, because money is not the goal. Yeah. Money is the ways in which you get to your goal. Yeah. Sometimes we forget that and we think, oh, we need money. Then you're not understanding money. No. Money is energy. So you need the energy to keep flowing to your real goal, to your real purpose, which is service of some kind, which will fulfill your whole being. Yeah. So that's why that's so important to have that clarity. I always say the truth is very clear and simple.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. The truth is very
simple.
Clear and
it's
simple.
Clear and simple. Otherwise, it's not truth.
This is so
if
true.
If you're confused, focus, come back to your breath, relax your body, find your heart, and you will listen. And whatever resonates in your heart's like, oh, that feels good. That expands me. And this is when people don't know where to go. I always say, if it expands you, even if it's like excitement with a little bit of fear, that's still somewhere that's pushing you through there. Mm-hmm. But if it contracts you, like, oh, I have to go to this and that, it's like, oh, then you know that's not the way.
It's not the way. This is so true.
Yeah.
I love
but
that.
Everything takes discipline and work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even the good things.
Yes.
Just saying we want to balance the masculine, the feminine. Yeah.
Discipline and work and commitment.
Yeah.
And
leads to transformation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no transformation. If you don't have discipline, nothing changes. Think about it. Nothing
is
changes.
So true.
So we need discipline. We need the masculine energy. Mm-hmm. Remember, everything's polarity, alkalinity, acidity, light, dark, female, male. So we need to understand what polarities are. Yeah. The masculine is the drive, the push, the moving forward, the doing. Yeah. The feminine is the relax, slow, allow, receive. Yeah. Yeah. So we all have everything. Of course, everything has everything, right? So we need to balance both things out. So it's really important not only to flow in life, because this has happened. Some people that are very like flowy and spiritual, they never have money. Yeah. And people that are very grounded and not connected, they're like money, and just only money, nothing else, and then they're empty inside.
Yeah.
So it's always understanding, I need to connect both. I need to connect both sides so I can be right in the center. And that's really, I think, important. So if you've seen yourself and you're like, I lack discipline, that's why I'm never getting anywhere, then you need to work on your discipline. It's very easy. Truth is simple.
I love it.
It's very easy. It's very simple.
It's very simple. Now we get to go do it.
Yes, and we get to do it. This is a gift. And anything that happens in your life, whether it looks horrible, it is life trusting you so much in your power that keeps giving you more of that, because he trusts you that you're going to get it and that you're going to move forward and you're going to become your best self. Yes. So it's life always giving you a gift to you to expand, no matter in what shape, form, situation, experience that comes through.
This is so true. I love this.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I love to say too, yesterday I was rollerblading. I've been rollerblading like every morning, and I love it because I get to feel the wind in my face. And
we should go rollerblading.
Let's do it, please. Yeah, let's go on the boardwalk. Let's go. Yay. Okay. And volleyball too. We said we were going to go play volleyball.
Go after this.
No, I'm jelly. But I'm going to be disciplined and finish my interviews.
Yes.
And so I was thinking while I was rollerblading, and I was like, wow, life is actually really simple. Like, we just are constantly cultivating gifts and values and lessons, right? And like, each lesson comes in, whatever way you want it to come, consciously or subconsciously. But ultimately, we're learning the mastery of love, the mastery of discipline, the mastery of structure, the mastery of forgiveness, the mastery of, protection, boundaries, mastery of
all of that
exercise.
Actually comes from love. Discipline is love. Think about it. Discipline is love in a different vibration, in a different color.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you never transform. You never do something. You always say and you don't do. But love is not that. Love is I do, I say and I do. That is love. It's commitment. So love is everything. So ultimately we're working on love through different aspects of the self.
I love that. I hadn't seen it that way, but you're right. Yeah. And it's kind of simple, but like we complicate it as humans and we complicate situations when they don't need to be that complicated. It's like, what am I learning here? What are you showing me? What are you teaching me? And move on. Integrate the lesson and move on and try to do it better next time. We're all humans. We're all making mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes.
We all
plenty.
have. That's the whole point, is to experience life. It's not that you're doing something right or wrong. It's that you're experiencing. I touch the fire, I'm going to get burned. It's not bad. It's just a fire is a fire. And if I touch it, there's a reaction to it. Yeah. So it's not really like it's good or bad. It's like we are learning how to live life through the experiences. So we're going to fall many times, but that is the part of life, right? Yeah. And it's a beautiful part, actually.
It is.
It's a beautiful part to experience ourselves.
Yeah. And, this is a full circle moment for me, because it is a beautiful part and a beautiful thing of life to be able to experience ourselves with what you mentioned recently, the power of choice, right? When we remember that we always have choices. Like, sometimes people feel like they don't have a choice when they're in this rabbit hole or in this black tunnel. And it's like, no, you get to pause and you get to remember you always have a choice. And when that power is respected within ourselves, you're going to surround yourselves with people that also respect your choices and that don't force you into doing something that you don't want to do, or they remind you that you have options. And I lost my
it's okay.
train of thought. Yeah, please, because I lost my train of thought.
What you're saying. So you can always choose, right? You can choose.
Yeah.
If you cannot change the outside, you can always choose to change the inside.
Exactly.
Right? You can either choose the outside or choose the inside. If something I don't like is happening outside and I'm in prison and I have to stay there and I can't change it, but I can change my experience of how I experience every day in prison, of how I see things. I can change that. So we can always change something.
Yeah.
So I was just mentioning that because sometimes we but this is my environment. But your environment is there for something. So nothing is random.
Yeah.
So if you have a situation, and most of all, if it keeps repeating itself, it's because there's definitely something. And if you don't figure out in this lifetime, you will come back in the next one. So you might as well do the work, right?
Exactly.
So you might as well like, okay, let me sit with discomfort. And that's what I love teaching in yoga. Sit with discomfort.
Yeah.
Oh, but this is like, we're always trying to resist pain and uncomfortness. And we're just always trying to resist like, oh, if it doesn't align and if it's not perfect right now with what I'm like, da-da-da. Well, no, but everything is an opportunity for your expansion. So the more I can understand those darker places and denser energies, whether they're from me or someone else, the more I can see the person, the less judgment, the less shaming on myself, the more connection, the more understanding. Understanding comes from the heart.
Yeah.
So you can always choose. And if things happen in your life, see where the gift is in that. Because it always has a gift for you. Whether we see it or not, I always say like my exes or whoever did me wrong, like they're the greatest teachers, the greatest masters, as we know. So I always thank God, even in my worst moments, even when I'm like crying, like really bad, I'm like, oh my God, when I'm feeling this, I'm like, thank you, God, thank you. I'm like crying. I'm like, thank you, God, thank you, that, thank you, that, thank you, universe, whatever you choose to believe in, right? It's all the same. So it's like, thank you, because I know if I'm going so dark and so deep right now, I know my expansion is going to be so wide and so broad and so high. Yes. And literally that's what always happens. Yes. So there exists the contraction and the expansion. Remember the polarities, dark, light, contraction, expansion. And I show it with the breathing in yoga. When you inhale, that's the masculine, the push, the drive, the doing. When you exhale, you release the allowing, surrendering, feminine, right? Yeah. So there's in this life, it's always movement. Movement is life. So when you inhale, you open, you're moving, and when you exhale, you contract. So if the contraction is very tight, you know the expansion is going to be even bigger.
This is so true.
Yeah. And just remembering that is how it works. Like, oh no, I thought I was doing great. Now I'm not doing. There's always going to be that, and it's always about you and how you navigate things and how you walk life. That's really going to make the difference, because things always happens to everyone. No one's like free of like pain and suffering, like no one. Yeah. I mean, it is a choice, right? Once you become in another level of consciousness, then you see that it is a choice. Yeah. Because I can laugh about something or I can cry. It is my choice. Somebody says something negative about me, I can cry and really feel it, or I can laugh about it. I'm like, oh, ha, 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 that's so funny what he said. Yeah. So you see, we're always choosing.
Agreed.
And if it doesn't align with you and you want to stop crying and being angry, it is a choice. It's not good or bad. Again, you can choose and you can change it. And that brings discipline and practice to change something.
I love that. That's just so true. And I love that, you know, you bring in the awareness to the breath again, because we're constantly breathing and we are trusting that there's going to be enough oxygen to flow in and flow out. And same with life and the contraction and expansion. Like when we're going so deep into that darkness, it's like the trust is like the breath. Like it's as it's flowing in, that darkness, it's going to also flow out. And the amount of light that a person can hold is equivalent to the amount of darkness that they've faced and have allowed themselves to just get through it. And and I want to thank you because I love the friendship that we're nurturing. I love being in your presence. I love learning from you. I see you deeply, and the more that I spend time with you, the more that you inspire me, and the more I lean into my fears of facing my purpose and the responsibility that comes with that purpose, right? Because when we're so, I guess when we have a purpose in life and we receive that understanding that there is a higher calling inviting us to be in service of the light, there was a moment for me when I had to face fears of being famous, like fears of being really vulnerable on camera and feeling completely exposed for people to just judge me and see me as I am in that authenticity. And one of my missions is to lead with emotional authority and with vulnerability. And that sounds like, you know, for example, speaking from like, I feel tender right now. My heart feels really tender, and I feel tender even just saying this out loud. And I'm going through a process. I'm going through a really hard time right now. I'm on here smiling in front of the camera, but before the interview, we were speaking about like finances, and I let you know, like, I'm really not in a good place financially right now, and I wish I could support you in this, but like, I can't. And we've had like beautiful conversations, and having that responsibility to voice that on camera constantly is scary. And also, like, I know that I always ask God to communicate through me. And so the stories that end up coming out of my mouth, I know there's a reason somebody needed to hear that story, you know, because I know what my initial intention was, and it was to be in service to God through my communications. And oh my God, I feel like it's been such a mission. I'm going to start tearing up.
It's okay.
To sit myself on this chair again in front of a camera and the microphone, and to allow myself to have more discipline, more commitment, and to really trust that I'm ready to hold the responsibility that comes with communicating to the masses, to, you know, to an audience. And I've done it before, and I've also done it making a lot of mistakes. And I've gone through a lot of judgment and a lot of shame, and really being exposed in a lot of my mistakes, and having people just see the rawness of my human. And I've learned through that. There's a book called Atomic Habits. I don't know if you read it, but it's really beautiful. And it says, like, whenever you are building your empire or your purpose or whatever, just remember the small things. Go back to basics, right? And from the basics, build that empire and that bigger vision. And remember, who are the top 5 people that you want in your VIP room? And I sit with that question a lot, because I've been at the top of my career. You know, I was a White House correspondent, and I got a lot of attention from a lot of really powerful people, oftentimes presidents of countries, and, you know, just people in really high levels of positions of power. And when I quit everything, I also lost a lot of friends, you know, and we shift, people change, and people transition, and new beautiful humans came into my life. But that has been one of my greatest fears, is like, how can I rise to my power with humans that actually love me and care about me, and that want to call me forward and want to empower me to do better and be better every day. And those 5 people that the book talks about is like, who are the 5 people that you want in your VIP room? And I've thought about it. I'm like, my mom and my dad have been there through it all and love me unconditionally. You know, Janine Gasalonde, you met her, like, this human has supported me so much, has also called me forward in so many ways. And we've had many moments of a lot of challenges and difficult situations where I've wanted to throw in the towel, and I'm sure she's wanted to as well. And we just take space and come back to each other, and we look at each other and we're like, and then we laugh about it like kids, like little kids are like, yeah, I'm sorry, I made a big mistake, like, I'm so sorry. She's like, it's okay, me too, I fucked up really bad. You know, but it's so beautiful because it's a choice. We get to laugh about the hardships that we've endured.
And then also remember that life is here for us to experience it.
Yeah.
And it is not required to be perfect. That's why we're here. We're here to experience.
Yeah.
Experience means mistakes. It
Yeah.
means doing things good, things so. It's experiencing. So what it's like to experience something, not getting caught up in like, oh, this is bad, or no, I shouldn't be doing that. Like,
Yeah.
well, it's not you should or shouldn't. Things are happening, so we accept things as they happen and we observe. And we're like, oh, I wish if I would like this outcome. Okay, so what do you need to adjust to get this outcome? And that's really the journey of life.
Exactly. So true.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
For
And
sharing.
thank you for holding the space
Thank
for
you
me
for
to share that.
Your heart to express yourself.
I had no idea that was going to happen, but I love it. I'm here for it.
You never know what's going to happen.
We never know.
It's always magical.
Yes.
It's always perfect.
It is.
Yes.
And I think that I don't know, is there anything else that you want to share that maybe I haven't asked you?
I would love to share a song.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to share a song. Oh my gosh, wait, I haven't asked you the most important thing too. This was very, very important. Before you even share your songs, I want to ask you about Tulio Carrillo. So I brought you to one of my greatest teachers and one of the greatest, oh my gosh, humans I've experienced in my life. I love that man with all my heart. He passed recently, and I was able to invite you to the hospital to sing to him. Do you want to share what your experience with him was?
For me, it was an honor. Like, to be in those stages in life where you're about to transition into the beautiful afterlife. It's like such an honor to be able to hold the space and to bring prayers. I really enjoyed it. But then again, I feel very comfortable in those settings where I'm holding space and I'm like connecting and I'm like speaking from the heart and I get to sing prayers. I mean, come on. How amazing is that? And people that really also, receive it so well. I mean, he didn't have any other choice to receive it because he was in the bed. But I know that he was connecting to it in some way. But I loved it. I mean, I love just anybody who wants to invite me and to sing some prayers to the hospital. It was so beautiful. I know we switched hospitals a few times.
Like 6 times total.
But it was so special. So for me, it's an honor. It's really, it's an honor. That's the word that comes for me. Yes.
Yeah, and I have another guest I'm going to be interviewing after you. He's going to speak about Tulio as well. And I'll share with you guys the story about Tulio and why he was switched from hospital to hospital, like a total of 6 times. It was kind of a wild, interesting story that led me to really see things through the lens of compassion and love. Nonetheless, it was challenging, and thank God I had humans like you, because while I was holding space for him to go through his transition, I feel like I was being a little selfish and inviting my friends to sing to him because I needed to also feel held through the challenges that were coming to light in that moment. And one of the songs that you sang to him, he was asleep, is Hero, which is one of your songs. It's one of my favorite songs. And he woke up immediately. And I remember.
Same with me when I sang it the first time to him. You weren't there.
Yeah, you told me.
You.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm like, wait, is he passing right now? I'm like, am I triggering something?
Yeah.
But it was so special. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that. And then the other times that we sang it, like he would kind of wake up and look at you. And I think you woke up a little bit when we were singing Agua de Estrellas as well. But I could tell that we were moving a lot of energy in the hospitals and within ourselves and for him.
Sending out prayers.
And sending out
prayers. You can never go wrong with prayers.
Yeah, exactly.
Never go wrong.
Yes.
The more the merrier.
Aho. So yeah, I wanted to share a little bit about Tulio, and then please share a song with us. Which one do you want to share?
I'm going to do Hero.
Okay.
You just mentioned
I'm in a ball again. Let's do it.
Very clear. The song
yes, it's very clear. I love this. I love that you're going to sing that song because I always ask for clear, undeniable signs in life so that I have zero space for confusion in my life. And oh my God, the signs are so clear. Sometimes it's a slap in my face, but it's beautiful because I get to surrender my ego and my pride and lean into my heart and then just trust and hear the signs and follow the purpose.
Hero is a beautiful song that was born right, when was it? 2022, when COVID was happening still. It was actually right at the beginning. It was before that. Right when it hit COVID. And then an opportunity to go into a vision quest. It's a Native American initiation as well that I did. 4 days with no food, no water. Third day, ayahuasca by yourself in the jungle. Previously and after, you do sweat lodge, and then you do another ayahuasca ceremony in a tipi. And it's a beautiful initiation. However, anyways, what I was trying to say is that before going through that, this song came through, and then I finished it right before I released the album. So it took like a few years. Then I went back to it because I had it in my phone recorded. So if I didn't go back to it, it wouldn't be out there. So
oh my God.
Never underestimate the power of the seed and just saving it for when the time is right to grow.
I love that. So like planting the seed and nurturing it, watering it, and tending to it until it's ready to be birthed.
To be birthed. That's why it's so important to allow the right timing, divine timing to happen.
Agreed. Yes. Not our human timing, divine timing.
Which is all interconnected, but yes.
Yes.
So this song originally was named Vision Quest, but because everyone kept calling it Hero, I decided to go for Hero, Strong Enough. And you can find it in Spotify and YouTube.
I'm going on a vision quest, seeking for the truth, tired of my BS. I've got nowhere to go but in. It seems like everything keeps repeating itself. I promised I would find the way to make it come away, keep slipping away. By searching it inside, I see that I was meant to be, 'cause it was always me. I needed a hero, so that's what I became. Needed a love, so that's what I gave. I needed freedom, so that's what I chose. Don't need a thing, 'cause I've got it all. Don't need a thing, 'cause I've got it all. I don't need a thing, 'cause I've got it all. Strong enough to let it go. Whatever journey's coming next that takes me to my depths, I'll pause, breathe, and reset. There's nothing that I cannot hold, for I know I am whole with every inch of my soul. And choosing who I am to be, I get to set free, come back to me. By searching it inside, I see that I was meant to be, 'cause it was always me. I need strong enough to let it go, strong enough to let it in, strong enough to let it go. Strong enough to let it go. I needed a hero, so that's what I became. Needed a love, so that's what I gave. I needed freedom, so that's what I chose. Don't need a thing, 'cause I've got it all. Strong enough to let it go.
Thank you.
Thank you, love. Thank you, thank you. Many blessings to all of you. May the prayer be to walk in peace and joy and love. Aho.
Aho. Thank you guys for watching The Awakened Journalist, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Love you.
The sun forsake me and the moon forgave me.